Welcome to Monday Night Raw live in Munich, Germany, in which we're kicking off the show with the Intercontinental Champion issue with an open challenge, and that man is the man of Zero Miedo, Penta. And what a reign of Zero Miedo is looking to continue here tonight as he's headed towards the Elimination Chamber after the Royal Rumble. And will Penta win the title all the way back at the Chamber, defeating then champion Jon Moxley, ending the reign of blood that was Jon Moxley. And while Penta has been a great champion ever since a fighting champion, stepping up to any and all challengers, issuing open challenges week in and week out. And tonight is no different here in Munich, Germany, as Penta is looking to continue the reign. What he would love more to have a year-long reign as champion and also walk into WrestleMania IC champion as he defended that title at WrestleMania 40 against Dirty Dom in one hell of a matchup. And while Penta has faced Dirty Dom 2 times for that title, Dom stepped up twice and has lost twice. Now Penta just seems to have the number of Dirty Dom. I'm bringing that up because, well, Dominic Mysterio could answer the challenge here tonight. That is a possibility. Could it be a third time for Dirty Dom? Is he looking to step up again? Or is someone different looking to step up to Penta? We saw a number of returns at the Royal Rumble. Wait, there's no way, surely not. There's no way this is actually happening. Chris Jericho, Y2J, is back in WWE. Well, he's answering the open challenger Penta, a former IC champion, in his own right. And I can't believe what I'm seeing. We saw a number of returns last night at the Royal Rumble. I recommend you go back and check out the Royal Rumble on the channel. But Chris Jericho is kicking off Monday Night Raw, making his return here in Munich, Germany. And well, one thing I want to bring up is Jericho, I'm being told, is not yet signed to either show. Jericho is a free agent right now. So if Jericho wins the IC title, he could take that, he could keep it here on Raw, he could take it to SmackDown. But Jericho is back in WWE. That's one thing I'm being told by Adam Pearce. Right now, but Jericho is not a Raw superstar, it's not a SmackDown superstar. That's yet to be decided. But Jericho tonight is stepping up to Penta. And what a matchup we're about to see. Penta v Chris Jericho for the IC title. Maybe for the first time, but not too sure if these two are faced elsewhere in their career. But what a matchup this crowd are getting here in Munich, Germany to kick off the show for the IC title. Let's get this one underway. And well, Penta, as always, showing zero. Asking Jericho to bring it to start the matchup off. Jericho with a kick there to Penta. Well, these two exchanging strikes here in the middle of the ring. It's been hell of a start to this matchup. That's two of the very best in the company right now. And Jericho, one of the greatest of all time, a guaranteed Hall of Famer one day. As these two are just throwing haymakers in the middle of the ring. And Jericho with a drop kick there. Drops Penta to the mat. And Jericho needs a good start in this one because obviously Jericho has not yet wrestled in a W with a Northern Lights bridge into the pin. And Penta kicks out one there. Well, Jericho has wrestled elsewhere. I'm not going to glaze over that fact. But Penta tonight is his first matchup back in WWE. And Jericho has to show that he still belongs here in WWE here tonight as well. These two exchanging huge shots there. Penta with some huge shots at the kick. A super kick avoided there by Jericho. And Jericho now looking for a butterfly suplex into a backbreaker, but Jericho caught by Penta. And a close on there drops Jericho to the mat. As Penta now sizing at Jericho, looking for the springboard. Crossbody on the mat there, but no one was home. As Jericho choreographed it, saw it coming as Penta this time caught. It's a butterfly backbreaker there by Jericho. And when Jericho is fired up here tonight on his return to WWE, can he walk out IC champion? What a return that would be. As Jericho, you can see going after the midsection of Penta, taking out the midsection, looking to weigh down the champion as Penta. A shoulder breaker there. Maybe a bit of a back breaker. I think the knee went into the lower back there of Jericho. As Penta now looking for a cobra head. And Jericho kicks out at two there. Oh, Penta fired up as always. Would love I can't even speak right now. That's how shocked I am that Jericho is back. Would love nothing more than to put away a future Hall of Famer on his title reign. As Jericho again looking for the butterfly backbreaker again to Penta to weigh down the lower back of the champion. And Jericho now, moonsault, not quite a lion salt, but a moonsault there from Jericho. To gain control of the match with Jericho now, looking for a backbreaker again, working on the back here of Penta. Taking out the high flying offense of Penta as well, but also wearing down the core of the champion. And some punches to the face of Penta. And to just rock the champion there as well. As Jericho now in the corner with Penta. Where's Jericho thinking next to Jericho? Some short arm clotheslines here. Dropping Penta to the mat. And Jericho's fired up. And what a matchup we're seeing between these two. Penta though pushes Jericho away there. And these two, despite hitting some huge movers, are still even footing in this one. It's Penta now. Hoists up Jericho. But Jericho slips behind and a chop block there to the champion. And Jericho here, what's the thing next to Jericho? Double underhook, butterfly, DDT. But Penta kicks out to being drops on the top of his head there. Well, Jericho believed that maybe was enough to put away Penta, but Penta fights out and while Jericho shot it to the midsection. Jericho turns it around and forearm to the face. That punch there from Penta didn't quite do the damage it needed to do. And maybe Penta doesn't have what's left in the tank to do the damage he needs to do. But Penta fighting back here, snapmare, kick to the back, another stomp to the midsection. Oh, Penta bringing out the strong style offense now. In this matchup, as Penta's looking to retain the IC title, as Penta, simple but effective body slam there. Dropping Jericho down into the drop zone, Penta going big. And Penta now, double foot stomp. And Jericho kicks out though. Oh, Penta was smart there, worked on the back then, stomped to the midsection, weakening Jericho for that double foot stomp. But not enough to get the 3 count. As Jericho now sent off the ropes there. But sent over the ropes by Penta. And Penta now looking to go big. And Penta, tope con hilo. Up and over the top rope. Now Penta with a crowd behind him. Fired up as always. And Penta always brings a great matchup to whoever he faces. We're seeing that right now. There's Jericho in the ring. Penta calling Jericho to his feet after that tope con hilo, wiping out Jericho at ringside. Springboard, crossbody, hooks the leg into the cover. But Jericho kicks out. Well, Penta almost had Jericho there. Or maybe if he went for that move a little bit sooner than, pandering to the crowd at ringside, he could have maybe pinned Jericho for the title there, or to retain the title. But Penta there, celebrating a bit too much at ringside as Jericho pushes the champion away. And Jericho, huge shot to the back. After right, Jericho, drop kick to the face. That rocks Penta, the champion, falling to the mat now. Jericho, double underhook again, looking forward, a butterfly backbreaker. Again there. As Penta now pulls himself up in the ropes there. As Jericho now looking to work on the midsection again here. Dropping Penta across the top rope there. You see Penta instantly going after the midsection there. And Jericho now weakening the legs of Penta. Well, this is the methodicalness, the experience of Chris Jericho. Picking a target and working it. And with Jericho working the leg here of Penta, obviously taking out the kicks, taking out the high flying offense of the champion. Which is smart here from Jericho. He now sends the champion into the corner here. Jericho was thinking next to it. Looking for a big hitter maneuver. And Jericho going to the top rope here with Penta set up on the top. Well, this is usually where Penta is most comfortable. Jericho. With a huge superplex. That sets up for the Lion Salt. Classic Chris Jericho. But Penta keeps the title reign alive. Oh, well, Jericho thought that was enough. But Penta somehow staying in this matchup as Jericho shot, caught there. And now Penta with a kick, forearm, rocks Jericho. Second one, caught there by Jericho. Now a kick to the midsection and a punch, caught by Penta. Super kick caught by Jericho. And Penta with the inskde. What an exchange between these two. And well, Penta drops Jericho. What a kick that was. Jericho maybe seen sauce for a week. Penta put everything behind that one. And Penta again. Well, Penta looking to rally and get going in this one as Penta now in control of the matchup. Off the ropes. Mexican Destroyer. But Jericho kicks out. And what are those kicks in the corner? What, Jericho may have lost a 2-4-2. You can see Jericho holding his head. Jericho's going to be feeling that one for a while. Now Penta put more behind that one than ever. And now Penta in the corner here. With Jericho again. Looking to run in with a huge chop. But Penta may have broken his hand. Code breaker. But Penta with a throat break saves the title. And Jericho can't believe it. Jericho knew that was it. But the veteran instincts didn't quite kick in there. Didn't realise that Penta was so close to the ropes. He saw the opening and hit the code breaker. And Jericho now with Penta. Well, Penta's rocked in this matchup with a bulldog there. Well, Jericho fired up here. He knows he almost had the title won. He knows he can do it. As Penta punch to the face though. Kick to the midsection. Can Penta connect? Penta driver. But Jericho is still in the matchup. What a cry showing no appreciation. And Penta can't quite believe that wasn't enough. As Penta now have an opportunity. Goes to the top. And Penta crossbody caught by Jericho. Hoisted up onto the shoulders. Dropped down. And Jericho now bending the back. Classic Chris Jericho here. And Jericho in control of the matchup here. And Jericho again working the back here. Of Penta maybe looking for the walls of Jericho. With a lion tamer to win the title here. And with Jericho now again with some punches to the face here of the champion. As Penta rocked. But the question is, does he have Penta beat? And Jericho again with his short clotheslines in the corner. And one there dropping Penta again. And when Jericho may believe that this matchup is on its way to being over. And Jericho now looking for the walls of Jericho on Penta. Can he get it locked in? And he does it with Penta. Wise there. Has kind of worked his way over to the ropes, but Penta, I don't think has enough left in this matchup to crawl to the ropes. As Jericho has it locked in tight here. The walls of Jericho in. But Penta fights out and scoots Jericho into a pinfall. But Jericho turns it over. But Penta kicks. Well, Jericho middle rope now. Looking to fly him with a drop kick. Penta catches him. No, well, Penta out of the way though, sorry. And Penta now looking for a submission of his own here. Looking for a gory bomb special on Jericho. Well, Penta digging deep down into his arsenal here. And Jericho though, with an arm drag out of it. And Jericho axe handle there, rocks Penta. And up on his shoulders now. Jericho. Penta out of it. And Penta now inverted Mexican Destroyer. But how is Jericho still going? And Penta can't believe it either. Penta thought that was it. And Penta again going to the top. But Jericho catches him off. And well, Penta's down. And Penta could be done for here. Jericho now calling the champion to his feet. The Judas effect for the title. But Penta. How? And Jericho can't quite believe it himself. And Jericho asking Ciampa on how that wasn't a 3. Or Jericho with a kick on Penta. But it may just find Penta up even more as Penta a huge shot there to Jericho. And he's now firing haymakers at each other middle of the ring. Don't imagine that whoever wins this exchange wins the title. Well, if Penta wins it, he retains. If Jericho wins, he becomes the Intercontinental Champion once again in his career. And what he saw just throwing bombs at one another in the middle of the ring. And well, Penta asking Jericho to bring it. And well, Jericho's going to oblige. And he's still here in Munich, Germany. Just throwing haymakers at one another. And Penta. Mexican Destroyer. Well, Penta pulling Jericho into the middle of the ring. But he's like, this one is over. It's Penta now. Kick to the midsection for a second time. Penta driver to retain the title and pin a future Hall of Famer. And Penta's done so. But what a match. And what Jericho showed that he can still hang with the very best in the company. Almost winning the IC title here tonight on multiple occasions, but what a showing. Penta showed why he's the IC champion, why he's held that title for almost a year. What if he wins it, what if he keeps it all the way up until the Elimination Chamber? It would have been a year-long reign. It's so close to doing so. Well, what a title defense by Penta here tonight. What a matchup. These two, for the opening matchup, may have sold the show. Whoever's up next, they have to do more than that to have the best match of the night. And this is the moment that Penta almost lost the title. As you can see, Jericho not quite realizing Penta's hand was so close to the ropes, and Penta just realized in last second saving the title. And this was the moment at the end, the final Mexican Destroyer hit with gusto. And then Penta giving Jericho his last rites, the sign of respect as well, with a Penta driver. I think the matchup was done after the Mexican Destroyer, but Penta wanted guarantee that it was over. And Penta retains it. You can see the damage it's done to Penta to retain the title here tonight. And what a defense that was. And the reign of Zero Miedo continues here in Munich, Germany to start the show. And well, ladies and gentlemen, this is some footage to show you from after the Royal Rumble, in which Naomi here was eliminated by Jada Parker, who, as you can see, is getting beaten down. This is after the show went off the air. Naomi found Jada Parker backstage and unleashed an assault on her before security could get there. This is the damage that was done to Miss Parker. You see Naomi, straight after being entered number 1, also being eliminated by Jada Parker deeper into the matchup, decided to take out her frustrations on Miss Parker backstage, unleashing a steel chair assault and putting her through a table. That's all we saw the assault, though. There could have been more that we didn't see before this camera picked up what it saw, but Naomi then left. Let's cut you back to live action, in which we're going to hear from Naomi up next. Alright, so after seeing that footage of Naomi, we're going to hear from her up next. And well, the reason why she attacked Jada Parker, well, the short answer is because, well, Jada Parker eliminated Naomi from the Royal Rumble. But it seems Naomi has had a change in attitude or viewpoint of the way she goes about things, as the old way, the crowd favourite way, hasn't been working for Naomi recently. She's been picking up losses, and yes, some of those have been triple threat matches, but usually Naomi would be winning those matches, and seemingly the way she's been going about things hasn't allowed her to do so. And Naomi tonight, we're going to hear what she has to say about why she attacked Jada Parker, whether it's just because she eliminated her from the Rumble. I see that was after the Rumble match when Jada Parker got assaulted backstage by this woman Naomi. But let's hear from Naomi here tonight and see what she has to say for herself. All of you need to shut up. It seems everyone has forgotten who I am. I am Naomi, a former women's tag team champion and a former women's champion. And I'm tired of getting disrespected week after week by everyone backstage and all of you saying that I should retire because I keep getting screwed, yes, screwed out of wins that I deserve. And at the Royal Rumble, I magically drew number 1. And no, that was a setup. And Miss Parker eliminated me. Who the hell does she think she is? She's barely been around here for a coffee or whatever the saying is. She's barely been here for any time. Who the hell does Jada Parker think she is? So let me get back on track. So the footage you just saw was me doing something that I should have done a very long time ago, and that is take things into my own hands. So let this be a warning for Miss Parker, for everyone backstage to proceed with caution. And what to hear from Naomi, the man Becky Lynch, who made a return in a Royal Rumble match, is out here for a first one-on-one match. You can see she's taking on Zoe Stark and made her way down to the ring already. And Becky Lynch is back. You can hear the crowd ovation for the man in what is WrestleMania season. So what a better time for Becky Lynch to return than a Royal Rumble match. Obviously, she didn't go on to win the Royal Rumble match, but she returned, and people are already talking about Becky Lynch and where she's going to be when it comes to WrestleMania. Will she be fighting for a championship? Will she be on the corner? Will Becky Lynch miss WrestleMania? That's the question that's going to be answered in the coming weeks as we build towards the Elimination Chamber and any other stop we have along the way to WrestleMania. And will Becky Lynch tonight is looking to return to in-ring competition and get a big victory for herself. Like I said, she returned in the Rumble, but a one-on-one match against someone as competitive as Zoe Stark is, that's going to be tough for Becky Lynch to get a victory in. Well, it should be anyway. But let's see the level that a man Becky Lynch is at after her long hiatus from in-ring competition, making a return. This is the first matchup on Monday Night Raw in a long time. Let's see if Becky can get the victory between this matchup with Zoe Stark, who doesn't seem best pleased. She's taking on the returning Becky Lynch here tonight. Let's get this one underway. And as this one is underway, Becky Lynch, excited to be back, is asking Zoe Stark to bring it. Well, Zoe Stark's going to do so. She doesn't back down from any fight as these kicks to the midsection, looking for a big kick there. No one's home. Disorientating herself as Becky Lynch fires in with a forearm low. Well, there's a lot to unpack as what we just heard. As Becky Lynch going to the old favourites, the leg drops here to Zoe Stark as well. Becky Lynch seems fired up here tonight. But like I was going to say, there's a lot to unpack from what Naomi just said, that people have forgotten who she is and what she can do, and that everyone should proceed with caution from here on out. Does that, I'm guessing that involves these two in the ring right now, as Becky Lynch looking for a pump handle, far away stamp to Zoe Stark. And Becky Lynch would love nothing more than to get a victory and a return to action tonight. And Becky Lynch taking a second to pander to the crowd, and Zoe Stark's going to make her pay for doing so with a pump kick to the face there, putting everything behind that one. As Zoe Stark, a woman with all the tools to be a big player in the women's division, just hasn't really worked out for her so far. There's the release German suplex to Becky Lynch. I see Zoe Stark, a very underrated wrestler in the women's division, well, in WWE as a whole, as Stark did with a knee to the face. Now a clothesline dropping Lynch to the mat, and with Stark just mocking the crowd. She does not care what the crowd think of her. All she cares about is getting a victory tonight against Becky Lynch, and it'll be a big victory at that if she can do so. As a clothesline there drops Lynch into a cover. And a returning WrestleMania main eventer and Royal Rumble winner in the past, I do believe. As Zoe Stark now in control of the matchup here, and it's just a straight punch to the face, and now asked the man to bring out what Becky Lynch is going to do so. Not sure why that was from Zoe Stark to piss off Becky Lynch, like I said, multiple time Women's World Champion. We know how good Becky Lynch is. Actually, double unhook suplex there. Oh, Becky Lynch no longer pandering to the crowd, staying on the attack after that. Well, right hand from Zoe Stark since they've just woken up. Becky in this one as Becky now throws her over there. Now looking to drop the leg drops once again on Zoe Stark, and now this time looking to reverse it and drop one the other way around, and does turn it to keep Zoe Stark guessing at what's coming next. Smartly from Becky Lynch. As Lynch now looking for a suplex, hoisting Zoe Stark up in the air. But Zoe Stark sits at the back, and Stark now turns her around, and what a clothesline. Turning Lynch inside and out. But Becky's still in this one, just about. You can see the frustration from Zoe Stark. She thought that was it. She put everything behind that one, but it wasn't enough to put her with Lynch here tonight. She hoists her up on the shoulders there. What is she thinking here? Looking to roll through and drop her down. As well, Zoe Stark now in control, looking for a standing moonsault to Becky Lynch, but no one's home with that one. As Lynch now caught by Stark. And Stark now, what's she thinking next there? So we're here with looking for a DDT, but Becky Lynch counters. And Lynch now. Becky now looking to take it down, looking for the disarmer. Head to Zoe Stark, and she lock it in. Becky Lynch got the disarmer locked in tight. Is she going to make Zoe Stark tap here? Is Zoe Stark going to find a way out of this one? And Stark quickly getting out the hold, pushes Lynch away. And Stark kick to the midsection. Rebound at the ropes. Slide through with a knee strike. Lynch could be out. But Becky again is just about still in this matchup. And Stark wondering what more she has to do to get the job done here tonight. Looking for the roundhouse kick, and gets all of it there. As Lynch in her sights here. The matchup could be on its way to be a win for Zoe Stark. A big victory at that one. And Zoe Stark on the ropes looking for a miss-out drop kick, but Lynch caught her. And Becky now looking for the manhandle slam. And Becky gets the victory on a return in emphatic fashion. A quick win for her tonight, wasting no time. Well, Zoe Stark showed what she can do, but a big mistake in the end from Zoe Stark, looking for that missile drop kick from the springboard. And Lynch saw it coming, pushed right away. A hard landing for Zoe Stark, and then a manhandle slam to put her away. And will Stark hit so many big hitting maneuvers in this matchup. Multiple lariats, a right hand right to the jaw, that sliding knee strike. But in the end, it wasn't enough to put away Becky Lynch here tonight. Well, what a matchup we just saw on Becky Lynch's return. I can see getting out getting out of the disarmer here, and then the sliding knee strike. And Lynch may have been on Dream Street for multiple seconds, but not enough to get the 3 count for Zoe Stark. And then this was the moment right here, swatted her away, and they caught her into the manhandle slam. Hooks the arm, no rope break there for Zoe Stark. And that was a 3 count. And gets Becky Lynch a victory upon her return to in-ring competition. Well, what's next for the man? We're going to find out, I guess, soon. And well, after that victory for Becky Lynch, we're going to hear from Seth freaking Rollins, a man who's been trying to get a World Heavyweight Championship shot after getting screwed out of his last one. Well, he believes he was screwed out of it anyway, and it's hard to deny that he wasn't. And Seth tonight seems in a happy mood. Well, it's just seen Becky Lynch get the victory upon her return, so that's probably why he's a little bit happier than usual tonight. Well, as we know, Seth has been getting dodged by Cena for months, and Cena lost the title to Brock Lesnar, and we saw the real John Cena return at the Royal Rumble, but it wasn't enough to defeat Brock Lesnar in one hell of a matchup. As Seth is looking to get a shot at Brock Lesnar's World Heavyweight Championship, a title that he said Cena was holding hostage, and now Brock Lesnar's holding hostage, a title that he made relevant. He made the top prize in all the industry, and when he hates seeing it being dragged through the dirt and held hostage. And when it's here from Rollins tonight, what he has to say, I imagine it's going to be about the World Heavyweight Championship and what should be happening next. What I say from the revolutionary, the visionary Seth freaking Rollins. Ladies And gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. I'm the advocate for the reigning, defending, the World Heavyweight Champion, the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Yes, we get it now. Before I get bored of hearing you drone on, get to the point before I come down and stomp your head into that stage. Well, just hold it there, Rollins. First of all, I'd be careful making threats like that towards me. But you see, I'm actually out here to deliver you some good news here tonight. You see, me and Brock, we've grown tired of your bitching and complaining about being screwed out of World Championship shots by John Cena and CM Punk. Don't you dare say that name on my show, Paul. I dealt with that cancer and killed it from WWE forever. Seth, this is warning number 2. Don't you dare cut me off again. But back to the point. You see, Brock wants me to relax and do what Brock Lesnar does, but you see, we've been getting constant calls from the board and Adam Pearce asking when Brock will be around to face you, the bitchy complaining Seth Rollins. But and at first, I was going to say you've got to earn the shot at Brock. But you see, when I asked Brock, he simply smiled and laughed and said, make the match. So I have. Elimination Chamber, Seth. It's Seth frickin' Rollins versus the Beast, Brock Lesnar, for the World Heavyweight Championship. But Seth, if I was you, I wouldn't turn up, because if you think what Brock did to Cena was bad, wait till he gets his hands on you. You see, he was playing with his food, so to speak, with John, but he's going to go straight for the kill with you. So Seth, for Becky, yourself, and most importantly, your daughter, don't turn up, because you may never be able to walk her down the aisle when Brock's done with you. First, if you ever mention my family's name again, your family won't see you walk again, you get me? And tell Brock I beated his bitch ass before at WrestleMania, and I'll slay the Beast again and take back the World Heavyweight Championship. Now run along before I do get bored and send Brock a message right now that he's your head on a stake. So run along, Heyman. I mean that. Get going. And well, after those heated words between Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, the recent returning Austin Theory is out here for a steel cage match against a man who put him out of action in the first place, and that is the Aussie icon, Grayson Waller. And well, Austin Theory returned a few weeks ago, attacking Grayson Waller and hitting a stomp at ringside, and then the week after did the exact same thing and then revealed himself to be the attacker after the assault on Grayson Waller. Well, Grayson Waller's been complaining to Adam Pearce since then. They've been doing nothing about the situation, and Adam Pearce tonight said, okay, you want me to do something? You v Austin Theory inside a steel cage in the main event to put the issues between you two to bed. Obviously, these two are former friends, former tag team partners, but while Grayson Waller was using Austin Theory as kind of a shield and kind of a, well, meat shield, I guess you could say, he was a guy that used to, in that tag team, to take the brunt of the damage, and was the one that always took the fall for Grayson Waller's actions. And then when things started to really break apart between the two, Austin Theory was attacked in the parking lot many months ago by a masked man, and that turned out to be Grayson Waller. And what was, well, revealed when Austin Theory was the man who attacked Grayson Waller, because it made sense that it would be Grayson Waller who attacked Theory backstage all those months ago in the parking lot. And while Theory tonight, a new attitude, a new mission, and a new man, he's going to be taking on someone that he believes is holding him back. And it's hard to disagree with that. Many people, like of AJ Styles, were saying that to Austin Theory at the time, saying you need to ditch Grayson Waller. And that's probably why Grayson Waller decided to ditch Austin Theory and tried to put him out for good before that could become a bigger issue than it was. But things are kind of backfired for the Aussie icon due to that, because now he's facing the man he tried to ditch behind a pissed off, meaner, more focused Austin Theory. Well, the Aussie icon seems to be in good spirits tonight, but the second that bell rings, it's going to be a heated exchange in the main event inside this steel cage. And what Adam Pearce is hoping that whoever wins this matchup, the issues between them will be done afterwards. If Austin Theory wins, then those two will eventually split ways and go elsewhere. But if Grayson Waller wins, they'll do the exact same, hopefully. That's what Adam Pearce is hoping. And but Austin Theory hasn't taken his eyes off Grayson Waller since he came down to the ring. And here we go, the steel cage match. Grayson Waller v Austin Theory is underway. And well, where we go here, and Grayson Waller. Well, I'm not too sure why that was. As Theory, but there's Waller taking the cheap shot. As Theory asked Waller to bring it himself. Grayson takes a cheap shot and now just booting Theory in the faces down on the mat here. And what a win for Grayson Waller with massive here tonight, putting away his former tag team partner. Well, this one's not going to be a great wrestling match. This is going to be a fight between these two. As Waller now just talking some trash to his former friend, the man that he assaulted in the parking lot a few months ago. And there's an uppercut there, dropping Theory to the mat. As Grayson Waller now just stalking his former tag team partner with some huge strikes here being delivered, but Grayson Waller receiving them some chops and some strikes again. This time from Grayson Waller too. Grayson Waller from Austin Theory now, who drops into the mat here. And a stomp to the chest. And Theory wasting no time to go on the assault here. Some mounted punches to the face and a stomp for good measure. Well, this one's going to be a brutal and bloody affair, I imagine anyway. There's going to be blood going to be spilled between these two. Well, there is bad blood between these two. Two former friends as Waller driven into the steel again. And straight back on the attack here is Austin Theory. And well, since Theory's return, the crowd seems to be behind him as the crowd tonight, or behind him at least for tonight anyway. The question is, will there be moving forward as Waller sits behind though? And Waller now looking for a back suplex there. And again returns to these boots to the face of Austin Theory as Waller now just... This is the issue for Austin Theory. Not Austin Theory, Grayson Waller. He needs to stay focused on the match, and that's why. As Theory got back to the mat, got back to his feet, and drops him face first, and again into the steel. As well, Theory tonight is laser focused, is more focused than ever. I caught up with Theory backstage earlier tonight, and he said that he was once known as the future of this company. But because of Grayson Waller, he believes he was almost future endeavoured. Because being a tag team with Grayson Waller held him back, stagnated his progress, and if anything, lowered down his spot in the company. As Theory now just utilising the steel to his advantage here. Now sending Waller crashing into the steel again. And well, there's no give. And Theory just showing off his physique, looks better than ever. Upon his return now back into the ground and pound here. On as the icon. As now Theory looking to return the favour with some boots here to the face, scraping the boot across. And now a boot to the back of the neck and a stomp there. As Theory now in control of this matchup. Well, I told you this was not going to be a wrestling match. This is a fight between two former best friends. Well, I don't think they ever were really best friends. I think in Austin Theory's mind these two were close friends, but in Grayson Waller's mind, Austin Theory was a means to an end in that tag team. He was the meat shield, he was the bodyguard. And Austin Theory was, well, Grayson Waller was the main man in his mind anyway. And so Grayson Waller sits behind, scoops up Theory looking to steal the victory. But Theory kicks out at two there. And that would have been an unsatisfying end to this matchup, as I want to see a clear and definitive winner between these two tonight. And part of me, I know I should be impartial as a commentator, but part of me hopes Theory does win here tonight. There's more on the line for Austin Theory than there is Grayson Waller. This is Austin Theory's first match back. Head of attitude, a new mission. If he loses, there's a DDT. And more, Austin Theory, he might be out cold. He's been busted open. And Theory just kicks out there. And yeah, like I was saying, if Austin Theory loses it tonight, and there's more to lose for Theory than there is Grayson Waller. As now Grayson Waller in control, sees the blood, and he's attacking the target on the face. His former tag team partner. There's an uppercut again. As Austin Theory looking to get a breather, looking to pull himself up on the ropes here. Not so sure why it is, so getting closer to the steel. As Waller now looking to just choke Austin Theory over the top rope here. But there's no disqualifications. It's a steel cage match. Anything can happen. And when the Aussie Icon now going to the middle rope here. They're going to maybe put this one away, looking to drive the elbow to the chest. Into the cover. And Theory again kicks out low. Oh, Grayson Waller believed that was enough to put away from a friend. It's from a tag team partner. But it wasn't enough here tonight yet. As Waller now with some huge punches to the open wound of Austin Theory. As Grayson Waller now rubbing the wound into the mat here, looking to exasperate the wound of Austin Theory. As Grayson Waller now a knee to the jaw and across the face there. That's not going to help things for the former United States champion as they're driven face first into the suit. You can see the blood pouring for the face of Austin Theory now. So the wound has been opened by Grayson Waller. It's showing a mean streak here as Grayson Waller. Perhaps this matchup is going to bring the best out of both men. One of them has to lose here tonight though. But I think this issue between the two is going to bring the best out of both men in my opinion. As a super kick. Grayson Waller doesn't connect with it though. Theory. Huge backbreaker there. Well, Austin Theory seems pissed off after being busted open. He's sending the attack here, trying to keep Grayson Waller down on the mat here with some boots to the face himself here. Now into the ground and pound, keeping the pressure on Grayson Waller. That's Theory though. And Waller back to his feet here. Hoists him up on the shoulders here. And drives him into the steel again. What a crowd of them, what a scene from Austin Theory here tonight. Or maybe this is what Austin Theory needed all along. Someone to bring out this version of him, a more focused, a more determined, and a better version of himself as that huge blockbuster there into the cover. But Waller kicks out at 2. Now into the ground and pound again here. I think Austin Theory is looking for blood. After being busted up in the soul phase, trying to bust open Grayson Waller as he drives him into the corner. And a huge a jab there and another one, but Waller drives him face first, and Waller now with some back elbows into his former tag team partner. Oh, this one is kind of hard to watch. Not gonna lie. As Waller now, what's he thinking there? Waller with Theory up into a powerbomb position and drives him into the steel. Now powerbomb into the middle of the ring. And Waller now, I think he's looking to put this one away. That's Grayson Waller now looking for the roll through. Stunner! But Theory kicks out. And Waller can't believe his eyes. He thought that was it. As well, there's no escaping the cage. This one has to be done this at the middle ring. I think Grayson Waller just realised that, goes for a huge splash. No one's home. And Theory now. A punch right between the eyes, busted open. Grayson Waller. He now pushes away Austin Theory. And as I'm begging his former friend, or trying to play possum there, there's a shot, but Theory knows it all too well, knew that was a ploy. And now Grayson Waller's been busted up. You can see the blood pouring from the face of the Aussie icon. As Grayson Waller now again sent into the steel. Back first this time. And that's not where you want to be. In a steel cage match, driven ricocheting into the back of the head. And Grayson Waller being driven into the steel. You can see the blood pouring across the chest of Austin Theory. And this is a cold-hearted Austin Theory. There's laser focus on getting the win here tonight. As Theory now in control of this matchup. As Austin now looking for a DDT. And Grayson Waller, boot to the face there. And a low blow. Not like this. And Waller says it's done, and it could be after that. But Theory kicks out. And Waller can't believe it. And Waller now, you can see blood pouring through the face of Austin Theory on the mat there. And with Theory, boot to the chest there. Now hoists up, Waller, patella knee drop brainbuster. And Waller now, well, Grayson Waller just being taunted by Austin Theory. This is your doing. This is all on you. This is what you get for what he did. There's the blood now being poured all over the ring by both men, who are going to need medical attention after this matchup, 100% guaranteed. That's Theory now. What's he thinking next to Theory with, well, trying to lift up Grayson Waller, but maybe losing too much blood, maybe a little bit lightheaded. But Theory now this time gets him up. 8-arm down. That's it, surely. But Waller kicks out. How in the world did Waller just kick out there? But Theory again straight on the assault here. And well, Grayson Waller's in a bad way. Both of these men are in a bad way. If this wasn't a steel cage match, the referee should step in. Chad Patton is hopeless at ringside to break up this fight up until the final bell is rung. And well, this is more just a mission statement by Austin Theory to everyone backstage that this is the new, more brutal, more focused. And this is hard to watch. Look at both men. Look at what these two have done to each other. Two former tag team partners doing this to one another. All in the name of revenge as ataxia. And what is the look in Austin Theory's eyes? That's Theory now. What's he doing here? Theory now just dropping Waller to the mat there. Onto one knee. That's Theory now lines him up. But boot to the face. And I think Theory says this one's over now. Look at the ring. Look at both men. And Theory now. No. Theory. What a stomp. Please, someone just end this. Get EMTs out here. And well, Theory wins. But both men are just taking years of their own careers in this matchup. And I don't know what to say after this matchup here. Theory with a win on his return. Like I said, that was a much needed win for Austin Theory, but I think Austin Theory blacked out in that matchup. He saw red. The darkness took over towards the end there. All the anger, frustration, everything that's been boiling up inside over the months he's been at home. Healing his wounds, waiting for the opportune moment to come back. Waiting to be medically cleared to do so. And what EMTs need to come out here and check on both men. Both men are going to need stitches. Both men are going to have suffered injuries in this matchup, but I don't think Austin Theory cares. All he cares about is getting a win. The blood was cut. The mat was covered in both men's blood at the end of this matchup. You see the blood on the chest of Austin Theory. That may be his. That may be Grayson Waller's. It may be both. And this is the final moment here. I think it was done after ataxia. But Theory wanted the final nail in the coffin, the stomp, being hit for the 1, the 2, and the 3. And well, Theory's back. And this is the new Austin Theory who gets the win upon his return. And well, what is next for Austin Theory? That is the question that needs to be answered.